Hey, it is me, Nbtsky, and this is episode 9, and this is for the week starting in April. I'm starting on the 14th, starting in April. I'm funny. Alright, so today is Monday. Let's see what the planets is talking about today. Oh my goodness. Where's my wheel? Where is it? Y'all know I like to use my wheel for those of you who like to come visit. Wheel. Alrighty, so let's see what Monday is talking about. What today is talking about. Pisces energy. Alrighty, so you're talking about confinement, hospitals, institutions, subconscious mind, secrets, hidden activities. That's the discussion today. And, you know, Pisces been running a little bit deep. But not necessarily only that. So let's see what it's talking about here for Monday. Alright, so there may be some stress involved. Okay? We have this Chariot up here. So Monday is, you know, the focus is, you know, the confinement in hospitals and, you know, institutions and things. There may be some stress going on in these areas, especially when it comes to a discussion of finances and money in a physical reality, right? Some things that need to be put under control, okay? But there's a little bit of stress here, all right, in this Pisces energy. It also could be a discussion of secrets when you're talking about money, okay? So let's see what else is going on for Tuesday, and then we'll go look back into that. And let's see. And also, you know, when you're dealing with the Chariot, you're dealing with the sign of Cancer, so you talk about the 4th house. And, you know, that's dealing with home, environment, family, that kind of thing. So let's see what else is going on here. All right, so you have Taurus coming up for Tuesday, right? That's the 2nd house. Finances, earning power, all right? Possessions and value. So let's see what's Taurus discussion. Earth energy here. So you got this Princess of Swords. You have the King of Cups here. And you have the 5 of Swords. So first off, there's a lot of people cards coming up right here. Well, 2 people cards coming up right here. They're looking in the same direction. There may be, you know, some conversation or some communication in reference to money that may have somebody in their emotions. Conflict, okay, fights. Pay attention to this when you're dealing with your finances and earning power, okay? Be very mindful to kind of to look through things clearly and with understanding, okay, and not so far in the emotions, okay. We got this cup thrown out here with this 5 of Swords. All right, so this is letting us know there could be some conflict, some fights. Somebody could get a little bit aggressive, okay. Don't let these physical things, don't let this, you know, the situation turn into a physical fight, okay. What I want to do Wednesday. There's definitely a cup that's thrown out over here, and that was too many of them with this 5 of Swords. So I may throw down another card over there when we get through the rest of the week. Let's look at Wednesday. Alright, Gemini energy on Wednesday. Alright, this good old twin energy, but you're also talking about the 3rd house, right? So this is mentality, expression, and communication, but it's also a discussion of twin energies, okay? So let's see. What is it talking about for Wednesday? Alright, so you got this 6 of Coins here. You also have the Hermit here. And you also have the Ace of Cups here. So let's pay attention to how this is rolling out for Wednesday. Let me move this over so we got some space real quick. Okay, so, you know, Wednesday, outside of mentality, expression, communication, and possible short trips, there's a balancing act that needs to take place. Now, on one side here, there's this twin energy, this partnership, that kind of energy, right? Divine. But on the other side, there's a hermit energy that's kind of isolated, going on their own path, their own quest to love. So this may be emotional, a little 5 seconds, but it's about being treated fairly, okay? Sharing in balance, giving in balance, even though one is kind of on their own journey here, and still with a couple love. Somebody may be chasing down love also, trying to figure out how to give or how to balance out so that they can go on this journey and experience love, okay? And that doesn't necessarily mean a physical journey all the time, okay? The hermit is still very spiritual and on a spiritual quest to see things on a deeper level, okay? Alrighty, so let's look at Thursday. And you have Aries. Aries comes up and we're in Aries. And please keep in mind that there's a retrograde taking place anyway. So pay attention to certain things when you're dealing with retrograde. The retrograde is in Venus and Mercury. Alright, so here we are with this Aries energy. The first house, personality, appearance, temperament, health, that kind of thing. A discussion on Thursday. So let's see what's going on here. So you got this Queen of Swords here, you have the Five of Wands here, and you have the Nine of Coins here. So let's get it clear. When you're dealing with the Queen of Swords, you're still dealing with this underlying water energy. Just like over here, when you're dealing with this King of Cups, you're dealing with an underlying fire energy. All right, so this is somebody that is strong-minded and clear with communication. Still has, get a little bit competitive when they get in their emotions. All right, but this is the personality and appearance and temperament and health of an air sign here, okay? In conjunction with this Aries energy, there's some communication that may be coming through in reference to the first house, okay? From the air sign, there's a little bit of, again, petty, competitive energy, but it is about this Nine of Coins here. There's wealth, the stability, the building, the working, and being able to create and manifest. All right, and it's important for Aries to stay in balance when you're dealing with the house, the 7th house, also, which is also a discussion of relationships, duality, other people, enemies, marriages, and partnerships. Right. So let's look at what Friday is talking about. And of course the scales, keeping things in balance, right? So let's look at Friday. Friday, Aquarius energy, right? Friends, social groups, hopes, wishes, long trips, wish fulfillments. All right, let's see what's going on here. Three of Swords, the card of death, and the Nine of Cups. All right, so there may be some, discomfort or disconnection when it comes to certain social circles, friends, and things of that nature. When you're dealing with Friday and it's Aquarius energy, there may be some things that come to an end, and the end is not a bad thing. It's this broken heart energy, and it may come from social people that you socialize with, people that you are friends with, and things of that nature that may bring some things to an end. And so therefore, in that end, you still have this Nine of Cups. It releases you from a particular social group, a social circle, a way of being around people, things of that nature, and you still come into your Nine of Cups of happiness if you stay in your high vibration and understand that the things that you are experiencing is just to bring about ends to particular circles and people and things, right? So that you can find this Nine of Cups, this happiness. But we're going to look into this a little bit more also, right? Because when we are talking about this card right here, the major, we're talking about death. You talk about a Scorpio energy. So, yeah, stay in your higher vibration of that anyway, okay? So, let me get over here. Let me move it over. All right, and let's see what this stress is here, okay? And money and trying to have some control, all right? Some stability here. So you got this High Priestess that comes out in this light energy on the light side. And the dark is, is a discussion of a little bit of stress, loss of sleep, dealing with some financial issues, and it's coming down, and it's Pisces energy, right? All right, so this is like somebody, Aries, we are in the time of Aries, but right now this is talking about a Pisces energy, or dealing in the house of Pisces, where there's stress, financial stress, moving forward, hidden things that are hidden, or one that has hidden, or if they have hidden knowledge, secret knowledge, those type of things. But let me go right here into this Taurus energy real quick and look down at what this conflict is looking like. Okay, first off, let's see if the King of Cups is, if this is two aspects of the King of Cups. Okay, because this could also be a discussion of somebody that's far in their emotions and they just wild reckless with it. And on the other hand, you have this conflict that's coming down, and he's throwing his cup away. So let's see. One cup is thrown into the conflict. All right. Is this one person? Let's just ask that. So we got the Hangman on the yes, no question. And when you deal with the Hangman, the answer is that a no energy? That's a maybe energy. Wait a minute. That's a maybe energy, but it's coming down into Pisces. All right. So it's not really trying to make it clear whether this is two different individuals or one individual, but what I will tell you is this: there is some emotions that's pushing this communication, and the communication can be very reckless, or loose, or not very clear when it's talking about finances, earning power, and possessions. Okay, but let me see why he's throwing this cup at this Five of Swords over here. Because somebody may be getting dragged into something, and they trying to focus on something totally different, okay? And when you got this Hangman here, also, it's letting you know that, there may be a stagnation, okay? Or a sacrifice of a particular connection. But as you see, this air sign is also holding a scroll, okay? Dumping it right into his cup. So let me see what's going on here. Three of Pentacles. Alright, so first off, this is a discussion of a cup being dumped into a conflict, okay? Some emotions being let out or being empty. This is dumped into a conflict, a fight, a dispute. Very well may be about money and possessions, involving about three different people that may be working together, okay? In this conflict, alright? This is very physical. And there's some information and discussion that's still scrolled up coming in to this King of Cups here, okay, with this underlying fire energy, all right? But he's moving around in this air, all right? And if you notice down here, his ankle is being wrapped by an octopus, okay? Like he's being pulled into this Five of Swords energy, and these people doing this as a group or as, collectively. So anyway, outside of that, okay, and this Gemini, being fair, finding balance, kind of being isolated, going on your own journey of wanting to go on a particular journey. And the journey is about dealing with the emotions. The houses of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces rules the Ace of Cups anyway. But let me just throw one more down over here. Alright, so this is that journey. This is an important journey. And it's finding your twin energy, tapping in to good connections, to good partnerships, doing this in balance and fairness, giving and putting out in fairness and balance, right? Going on deep journeys, looking into your own emotions, manifesting your 10 of coins. That's what the discussion is on Wednesday, all right? And let me see. I said I was going to do another card on Friday with this Aquarius, is social groups and being heartbroken and kind of disconnected. And, certain things ending, but coming through with new beginnings of happiness. But this also can be a spoiled energy, a selfish energy sometime when it's surrounded by a bunch of negative cards. So we're going to look and see what's going on. Or so-called negative cards. I don't see cards in tarot as negative at all. But let's see what else is going on here. Uh-oh. The Lovers. Alrighty. Here we go. Again. So this is confirming, okay, the energy on Wednesday. All right, that with these social groups and friends and the broken hearts and feeling some type of way and putting endings to happinesses, or endings to broken hearts to start this, comfortable lifestyle and reconnected to something powerful. So it depends on what frequency one is in, all right, or connecting to a powerful partnership or relationship, a divine connection, okay? So let me look and see. I think this is also, one may have to let go of some things, okay? This is why, she's partially still looking back at the endings and the heartbreak. Let's see what else is going on here. Yeah. And that's what it'll turn into. Okay? So, in this, certain people you may detach from or determine that you want to detach from on Friday. Certain social activities you may not want to participate in, and it may be a little bit, hard to get done. All right? Creating these endings so that you can have new beginnings and accepting certain endings so that you can have new beginnings and new comfortability and new happiness and new love and success. All right, that should be the focus on Friday. Is the social groups, are the social activities in the social groups and people that you're around and the things that you are hoping for and wishing for, are you accepting that it requires certain emotional disconnects and certain endings so that one can get into the Nine of Cups and get into the Lover's energy and to the Six of Wands energy? That's what has to be looked at. If you are on your high frequency, then you're going to accept these endings and disconnects and remove yourself from particular social circles and people and things that's not going to help you manifest this Nine of Cups, this Lover's energy, this Six of Wands. Tuesday is a little bit on the rough side a little bit, but understand that, when you're dealing with the, when you're dealing with this King of Cups energy, it very well creates the mist, the air, communication, a little bit cloudy, okay? So, regardless of the fact, okay? But let's look at this High Priestess over here, right? See what she's talking about real quick. What's on her scroll? The Eight of Coins. Repetitiveness, work, perfection, creating, education, learning, further learning. All right? So there may be some conversation about some things that's going on a repetitive cycle when it comes to this house, Pisces house, okay? That may create stress financially with moving forward, even with being properly tapped in the way you need to. This is something that is being worked on or needs to be worked on and thought about, okay? So anyway, I will see y'all on the next. This is the week of the 14th, and I will see you for the daily reading later. Smooches and deuces. Be good.